Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and as I promised, I would show how I did this globe. And I might not even be able to get on the internet because I am. But anyway, I'm uploading a video and it takes all my internet speed away. But I brought it up, I traced it, and I made a circle the size of my ring. As a matter of fact, my logo's not in the center anymore. But I got the circle in the size of the ring. And first last night I power clipped this thing, and here I traced it and turned it all black. And that's a totally different video, but it's pretty easy. But I need this part of the United States and Alaska and Australia, but I also don't need it in this way of this logo. So that was a little difficult. You couldn't power clip it because of that fact. So let's nudge this thing over. And that's about what I want. So I'm going to take my new globe and I'm going to left click, no fill, right click, outline. And I am going to color fill what I need with black. And I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to get Alaska and I'm going to color fill it and move it over. And even though it's leaving some spaces, and you could keep going and take in these little islands, but this will be a lot easier than, because once you power clip something, you can't manipulate it. So we're going to put our ring back, and that's about what we want. And then you can manipulate this logo. Let's just arrange and ungroup this, and we can take, let's just delete our globe on this one. And let's delete everything. And let's just get our logos. And let's nudge them over. So we can't have this part in the logo. But because we just did it, we could take the shape tool, click on our item, and get rid of these nodes and get it out of the logo. And do whatever you want to with it. Now, looking back at the real picture, it's solid up here. So what you'd probably want to do when you're doing this, let's just delete all this, bring this back into the center of the page so we can have some comparison. And that's what's so nice about this object now. We can take our Smart Fill tool and we can take these nodes, and I didn't grab them all and bring them up in here and bring them around here. And I actually don't need to grab them all when I'm doing that. Unclick, and you could manipulate them however you wanted to. Let's just delete some of those, and you can see what I'm doing. And I'm making this part of Europe, and you can just play around with it, almost hand draw it. The power clip worked, but you cannot manipulate it to get it out of that logo once it's power clipped. And then of course to get it in the ring, you would do just like we did on the other video. And this is a little bit irritating and time consuming, but it does work. And you just have to play around with it a little bit. And we're almost there. And then just play around with these and you know, add a node, and it would be nice to have your drawing. And that's one thing nice about drawing in the center of the page. We could cursor this all over now and just kind of match up the black to the green. And as you can see, I don't have, Alaska's not as big as it is in the other drawing, but and we need to cover in this part and take away this other part. There's really no simple solution to doing this, but we could manipulate this stuff around. You don't want it too close to the logo. Add a few nodes, and depending on how big this thing's going to be, you know, you're not going to even notice it. And like over here in the United States, where these look like they're not connected because they're not, you can just connect them. Same thing here. just bring that down, and now it looks like one single. And you could make, you know, Alaska that big. You could bring out this part. I probably didn't do a real good job of sizing it, but you could grab all these nodes and bring it out and make it look more like the picture. Matter of fact, you could delete these nodes. But as long as you stay away from your logo, now we can take the original logo and move it out of the way, and that's kind of what it looks like. So yeah, this needs some work. We have a line right there that's not going to work, but it's very easily fixed. Just cover it up. And if that doesn't work sometimes, you can take all those lines and right click and turn them into a line, and those lines will disappear. Like we got a jagged pointed line there we don't need. So we can grab these two, right click, turn them into a line, and they'll make a line. So just keep playing back and forth with your map. There's really no easy solution, but it will look good when you're done. And we're also on the logo a little bit here. But before I was going to power clip this in, you just can't move it around once it's power clipped. And if you're lucky enough to have X8 and above, you can use the smooth tool to smooth out some of these areas and make it look a little bit more normal. Anyway, this was a totally confusing video. I hope it wasn't too bad for the viewers and you learned a little bit. Thank you for watching.